And maybe this will cheer you up. Anthony Idol is back, and he's next.
That's right, the neon phenomenon, the incredible one, the baller, the shot caller, the man who makes all the ladies holler, is finally back to work at Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. And the biggest task in front of me, the work I'm going to handle, well, deals with closing out 2020 with all the momentum that I had coming into this year. 2020 is when I reclaim everything that I had coming to me. And everybody has to deal with the neon phenomenon. Whew.
Neon Phenomenon ready for action. Saying he's going to get everything that he was owed out of 2020. You might say he's going to get some retroactive payments.
Oh, you're not wrong about that.
And introducing his opponent from Gun Barrel City, Texas, weighing in at 230 pounds, the Western Roughneck, Jesse James.
But it's Anthony Idol that might be making some payments here, guys. We saw how tough the Western Roughneck Jesse James can be with his recent victory over talented youngster Jack Cartwright.
That's right. He absolutely demolished Jack Cartwright with that monster lariat.
Couple big weapons at play here, Blake. You got the likes of that Idol overdrive for Anthony Idol, and how about that big lariat that we saw on display in his debut by Jesse James?
The lariat was extremely impressive. I'm really interested to see how well Jesse James is able to deal with a significantly bigger opponent. Jack Cartwright, the guy that he competed against in his last match, is a relatively smaller dude when you look at him next to Jesse James, but you see the exact opposite size differential between Idol and Jesse James right now. Let's see how it plays out.
Collar and elbow time. Usually we see Idol just throw people to the mat with that. Only backs up Jesse James a feet or two. Jesse James calling for saying there was a pull of the hair. I don't believe so, but it doesn't hurt to try. And now taking the side headlock is the Western Roughneck, Jesse James.
And what polar opposites stylistically in their presentation as well. You got the Outlaw, the Western Roughneck, but then you also have the Neon Phenomenon, who lives his life cranked up to 11.
You got to love a big heavyweight hoss fight. And that's what we got here, Blake. How about that? Shoulder block, neither man gave an inch. And again, two big bulls colliding in the center of the ring.
I'm always a fan of watching two superpowers go at it. Man, these are two big boys, and they're not holding back.
Oh, man. Both looking for the same thing.
Man,
Both
we
going
almost
for
saw a
that
double knockout right there.
Seriously. And we know how powerful that lariat is. And now the clothesline in the corner there as Jesse James goes for work, chops the heck out of the Neon Phenomenon. And that hurt Jesse James just as much.
Oh, the chop is so swift, you can almost hear a little whistle with it. Oh.
And whistle while you work, and Anthony Idol said he's going to go to work, went to work there with that huge overhand chop. Not often do we see pain etched on the face of Jesse James. Big power slam there by the Neon Phenomenon.
This is the type of differential that I expected to start seeing when Jesse tries to go head-to-head with the guy who's significantly bigger. We saw with the exchange on those chops how much more power Anthony Idol has in his hands.
And Alyssa, Idol, since returning, has been very frustrated in how things have gone. Close call, almost took that open challenge from Watts. He could perhaps be the Heritage Champion right now.
You never know. Anthony Idol was ready to go. He was coming down the ramp, ready to approach Watts, the then Heritage Champion, but Ray Rosas just got right in line, hopped right in front of him. I think he was still lacing his boots on the way to the ring. Anthony Idol thought he was cashing in the PP3, so he let it be, but man, what an insult to Anthony Idol.
Big reversal there, and Anthony Idol's got some unfinished business with Ray Rosas, so he would love to even the score and win the Heritage title, but to get an opportunity, he's got to string together some wins. You saw that tough loss against the Dirty Daddy Chris Dickinson on pay-per-view on Primetime Live. Back body drop there by the big man. And back and forth heavyweight hoss fight here, fun to watch.
After missing several opportunities like the PP3 finals as well as challenging Watts, and then coming off that loss to Dickinson, we see an Anthony Idol that's coming out here and looking to get a W. He's not playing around with Jesse James.
You're right. Yep, go ahead.
Anthony Idol,
no, the chop.
The chop is huge, but Anthony Idol was fired up, so ferocious, and now just taking that back elbow from Jesse James, he staggered.
Well, the Western Roughneck will take the starch out of you in a hurry. A big clubbing forearm. You don't want to get clubbed on here by the Western Roughneck.
He's been doing some damage to Anthony Idol's neck. He jabbed him in the throat, and that was about 3 or 4 big shots to the back of the neck.
Speaking of jabs, here we go. Neon Phenomenon.
That extra momentum.
Flip, flop, and fly. Did not hit the bionic elbow, but got taken out with that big boot. Right up the middle. Oh, he's sizing him up for the lariat.
Whoa!
Spear, though. What a counter. Anthony Idol was able to change levels there, Blake.
That was beautiful. He went right underneath. And while Jesse James' body was exposed as he threw that big lariat,
has just enough to get the big man up and over. Idol overdrive and continues to kick it into a new gear.
it was all set up on that
Here
lariat
is your
counter.
winner, Anthony Idol.
Let's take a look back at the action. Make sure, again, our friends over at Championship Wrestling, they've got the drive-in Halloween Spooktacular coming your way. And we look back at the action. Who was looking for the lariat, changed levels, the big spear. That was the beginning of the end.
You can see Jesse James, the way he adjusted the band on his arm, he was tightening up, ready to go on that lariat, but Anthony Idol had it scouted and was able to get that spear on the Western Roughneck.
Jesse James' body was wide open as he threw that powerful lariat.